Welcome back, everyone. Going into Court of Swords, whatever episode it is, 112, I think.
It's 112.
Yeah, 112. All right, Adam, what's going on?
I'm curious to see Zeke describe one of the hidey holes and safe houses that you have in your place throughout the city, and where have you brought the characters? Describe this place to us.
The place is some sort of like it's like a. Is there like an alchemical shop or maybe like a place where I don't know, science of the day is done? Because a good safe house has a couple of things. It's not noticeable among the other buildings. It can cover up certain things like smells and sounds.
Yeah.
So I would like it to be like in the basement of some place that produces, like maybe not strong odors, but definitely an aroma that will cover up any like anything that might happen down there, or and during the business of the day, like things are bubbling, things are like making noises and that kind of thing.
Let's put it in a tannery. Let's put it like. So Tannery, what's funny is that a Tannery functions in the Court of the Void the same as it does in real life, but instead of chemicals, the skins have to be treated with juice so that the skin doesn't regrow like flesh. It doesn't come back. So it's pretty much otherwise the same. So they have to apply the juice to the bodies so that this stuff doesn't start to regenerate or recorporealize. And I think that, so there's like a yard, where they treat and tan the hides. There are big vats of juice, like chemical. And so your safe house is where? Just like near it, or, like how integrated into this place, or is it a neighbor?
I mean, I honestly, I would say it's like, there's an outlying shed where they hang the things or whatever, and there's a trap door in the basement with like a rope ladder.
Okay. Yeah. And what is your deal with this? What's your deal with this person? Do you share the same master, or do they owe you something? Like, why do you get to have your safe house here?
I have something on the owner.
Okay, so it's blackmail. Okay,
yep.
Cool. All right, so they're not happy to see you ever, because they're reminded. Okay, so let's see. What do you want to define? You know what? Let's define that later when it comes up. I will just put promises has blackmail on someone. Tannery owner. Okay.
I'm guessing it's something blasphemous against either he would name or Neil or something like that.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And blasphemy can mean one of two things in this context. In the Court of the Void, blasphemy refers to like disloyalty to your own like overlord, your own Mara overlord. But in the case of he whose name, who is a Mara who is considers themselves to be chosen of the Void, it can be blasphemy against the Void itself. So things like hopeful behavior, saying things like, "Oh, I'm sure tomorrow will be better." Those are minor blasphemies, and we don't do those things.
Love it.
Right, because the Void will consume everything, and if you act like it won't, that's denying the power of darkness. Okay, cool. So, this safe house, you're led, Maharib and Amira, you're led through the yard of this tannery to this place. What is in the what's in the safe house itself?
There are like a common room, two quarters, sparse, but there's whatever they have in like a I'm assuming like bed, a wash basin, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a very small like set of drawers that you can put stuff in, and one common washing area, like with a tub or a drain in the floor or something.
Okay, cool. So Mahari, this is the place that you find yourself.
Okay. First thing I do when we get inside, I don't think we've shared words at all. While getting here, we were trying to be as quiet as possible, as instructed by broken promises. So the first thing that happens once we get in and somehow the trap door is shut, broken promises. Are you just walking through the safe house, or do you go to anywhere specifically? Do you welcome us in here? Like what's the first action I guess you do when we get down here?
Yeah, well, I let you go in first, just as just habit, to make sure we're not followed or anything like that. I'll be the last one in to make sure no one's behind us. And also, like, if anybody that is tanning during the day, make sure I look at them directly in the eyes to let them know, like, this shit's happening and there's really nothing you can do about it. Unless you want this entire business and your life to blow up. And then I follow you guys down. You guys find yourself in the common room. Off to the left-hand side, there are two doors that are open that you can plainly see are the quarters. To the right, there is the washing area. Like I said, I forgot. There's probably like a minor like larder or wherever you keep food and that kind of thing. Yeah. It's not well stocked, but it's stocked enough for a few people for like a couple of nights.
Okay.
So as soon as she sees the food, Amira just goes over and like starts eating something. She just grabs like a loaf of bread and starts taking bites out of it. She turns around with like a bunch of bread in her mouth and she's like, I mean, I'm not saying that this place isn't great and everything, but is nobody going to mention the smell? Because it's kind of gross.
Smell has its advantages. If I were to leave something rotting, so let's say, or maybe I trapped an animal down here, something like that. Not saying you're an animal or you.
Yeah, and as you're
rotten.
saying this, her eyes are getting like wider, and she looks over at Mahari like, I think she's going to kill us. Like, we may have made a mistake. You're like, welcome to my murder basement. You made your first mistake. You went to a second location. Now you're dead.
I'm not saying you or any of those things. I'm just saying that the noise and the smell definitely covers up any sort of activity we may find ourselves getting up to.
Right. So hypothetically, if you wanted to drag somebody down here and murder them, nobody would notice. Got it.
I see you're very astute. And I'm sorry
She squints at you like she's not. She's about to say like, fuck you, you're astute. But then she just remembers what Maharib said and just kind of like makes an angry sound instead.
Okay. Yeah. I'm definitely watching to see if she's like.
Yeah, she learned, right? She looks at she's about to be like, fuck you, I'll fight you. And then she's just like, nope, Maharib said be good. I don't know what astute is, but you're astute, so fuck you. She doesn't say anything. And she just kind of like
look, yeah, no, I look at her and I kind of like it's unless you were someone who did this for a living or as just instinct, you wouldn't really notice, but you see broken promises look Amira up and down and size her up and gauge things about her character. And
yeah, do you want to make an insight check and see what you can learn about her?
Yes, I would love to. And someone I only have I made this character on the Character Mancer and stuff. I have 2 of the skills like I'm proficient in. Would I have more by now or not?
You should have more from your background. The background.
Yeah, your background gives you some skill choices, and your class does, but you never get more by leveling up.
Yeah.
That never
Okay.
happens.
So I should have like 4 then total.
You should have
you think?
4. Yeah, you get 2 from your class and 2
Okay.
from your background.
2 from my class, which were deception and stealth.
Yeah.
And then from my what do I get the other proficiencies for?
Your background.
Your background.
Background. Oh, okay. Oh, that's my background. Spy, deception, and stealth.
Yep.
And then my class would be sorcerer. I would get. What are the classes? What are the proficiencies you can get for sorcerer? I'm sorry. I just.
No, it's
someone
okay. I'm
mentioned
not.
it.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure off the top of my head. You would have 2 more. Let me see.
I'll tell you in a matter of seconds. You would have.
Listen, it's not a secret. You can all just look at. You can all look at Zeke's character sheet.
Choose 2 from Arcana, Deception, Insight, Intimidation, Persuasion, and Religion.
Okay. So I would definitely do insight, and I would do persuasion.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, and this is like before I rolled anything, because it did seem like I was light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and that just goes in line with the character that she would be insightful and persuasive and that kind of blah blah blah.
Totally. Yeah, completely makes sense. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah,
cool.
you make your insight check. You get a 14. What would you be looking for? Ask me some questions, and I'll answer them about Amira.
Oh no, that was time before.
Oh, okay. So you make another one. Oh, this is for the lie. That's right. Okay, this one's not as good. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, let me know what you wanna know. What are you looking for?
He rolled 11, by the way. The stats are the rolls are broken
Yes,
right now.
That's right.
Yep.
Rolled an 11.
No, I want to suss out like what kind of complimentary things could I say to Amira to alleviate her apprehensiveness? To make her feel like we're buddies, we're friends, we're pals.
She 11. I mean, she's a colossal overcompensator. She's very protective of Maharib. And she's hiding the fact that she is confused and uncertain. She's doing that thing, and you've seen dead people do this a bunch, where she's acting like she's tough because she's got these massive gaps in her memory.
Oh, sure, okay.
So she just needs to be reassured. Like, she just needs to be like you're safe, you're okay, nothing bad's gonna happen to you. Like, you gotta kind of like build trust with her.
Okay. And I walk up to Amira, and I kind of, you see like the airs that Broken Promises puts on, like her shoulders kind of drop a little bit, so she's not so like trying to be so proper and regal, and looks at her and says, "I apologize for any offense I may have caused. The line of work that I'm in, it calls for subterfuge and deceptive language. I want you to trust me, and I know that it will take time, but I am dedicated to working towards that trust. And although you have no reason to believe that now, I do hope that in the future you leave that door, if not open, at least unlocked."
Make a persuade check for me.
Okay. 12.
Okay. All right. So she kind of scowls and she says, "Listen, we don't have to be friends or anything. You have something we need, and we can maybe help you get something that you want. So just keep your distance. We'll all be happier about it."
Understood.
But yeah, she's like, but I mean, we do appreciate your help. This place stinks, but you got bread, and well, my friend there, he's pretty badly beat up. She is too. He's pretty badly beat up, and he needs to rest. And she turns around as sort of a way to kind of end this conversation. She turns back to Maharib and she says, "You don't look so good, buddy. Maybe you should lie down."
Maybe I should. You're right. Is it safe to sleep down here? Will we be bothered? That's a look of confusion.
I'm sorry.
Zeke.
No, I'm sorry. Did you guys hear that little sound?
Nope.
Okay, good. You would have noticed then. Okay.
It was a tornado.
Yeah.
No, my buddy's alert. His follower alert is a little fart sound. So it went off in my ear, and I was wondering if you guys heard it. Okay, I'm sorry. Ask the question again.
Is it safe to sleep down here? Is what I said.
Oh yes, quite safe. Please. You definitely look like you need rest. Maharib, right? Is that what you go by?
We'll do the pleasantries when I wake up. I think I just like find the nearest place that looks comfortable and just I immediately.
There's like a cot down here, right?
I'm like exhausted to the point of where I'm just passing out from exhaustion. Like I've tried to look tough this entire time, but the guard has dropped and I'm just out the second I say that.
Okay. So when you do, you go and like lie down. And it's like, okay, time out. Amira she gets a stool and she drags it over to next to you, sets it down, and then just like sits on it with the like leaning on this big sword. I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna keep an eye out.
You also appear that you might need some rest. Shall I have someone bring the other bed into this room for you?
We're not both sleeping at once. Once he's done, I'll take my turn.
You do realize if I wanted to kill you, I would have done so by now, or at least sprung my trap. Trusted me this far. I understand. But I will need your measurements for new attire. Clothes.
She goes through a roller coaster of reactions as that sentence comes out of your mouth. And she kind of squints at you and she nods and she's like, all right. Fine.
And you see, like, her, like, Broken Promises goes out and comes back with, like, just a very long piece of string. And comes back and asks, like, looks at Amira to make sure it's okay. Measure the arms, measure the shoulders and stuff like that. And just take, like, mental notes so I can have some clothes ready.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Okay.
And
then I asked,
do you have
go ahead.
Do you have a proficiency in the disguise kit?
No, I'm going to pay someone to either fetch the clothes or make the clothes. But it just shortens the process if I have the measurements. Yeah, and I would assume measuring something is not super difficult.
No. I was just checking.
Okay. Yep. So once I get done doing that, I make the mental notes of shoulders, length, arms, legs, that kind of thing. And then I ask Amira, I hold the string up to her, smiling.
She looks at it and looks at you. What?
You saw what I did with him. I need to do the same with you.
She stands up and she doesn't put the sword down. She just holds on to it. And she's like, fine, go.
That's fine. Yep. And I take the measurements, taking care to every once in a while, like actually touch her.
Yeah.
Like every once in a while, just like comforting, not trying to be comforting, but just trying to have
like just the kind
contact.
Of like basic, the like basic like closeness with another person thing. Let's see how it goes. Make a charisma saving throw.
Good.
I was gonna say make an animal handling check, but I think this works too.
Animal handling. 13.
Because like that's what you're doing, right? You're just like they're there and like pet her, but you're like okay. I think you don't bother her. She doesn't like notice it and get angry with you. But it doesn't really help. She's very like she flinches when you do it at first, and the closest you get is that by the end of it, if you nudge her or whatever, she doesn't like flinch. So it's something. But
let me just say, my last 3 rolls were 4, 3, 4. So we're doing well. We're doing well so far.
Yeah, you got that Zeke charisma curse where you can't make the roll even though you have a huge bonus.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then you leave the two of them to go and get the disguise. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So when you leave, the cameras.
I let Amira know that I will be back within an hour or whatever.
Okay. So when you go, the camera stays with Maharib and Amira for a second, and we see her sitting on the stool, and she's not looking at the door. She's looking at Maharib, and she's like glances at the sword and looks back at him. She just has like a concerned look on her face, like something's not right. And we fade out on that, and we fade back in. Berg and Ramus, you are awoken from your rest. I think enough time passes, right? That like Broken Promises goes and gets the outfit. Maharib and Amira get a chance to get their long rest in. Berg and Ramus, you can also long rest now that you've eaten. So everybody long rests. You get all your hit points and stuff back. You only lose 1 level of exhaustion from however many levels of exhaustion you have.
That still sucks.
But you're working it off slowly.
We just go right back into
and you awaken. You awaken to a knock on the door. You hear like a tapping on the door.
5 more minutes.
There's more knocking and slightly more insistent this time.
Berg, get the door.
Why is it always me?
You look prettier.
Okay, so you go over and you open the door. There is a servant of the house, right? Somebody that works at Miss Tippet's, and he looks at you and he says, "Miss Tippet sent me to make sure that you hadn't died in your sleep, and to let you know she wants to talk to you."
Died in my sleep. God, if that's how it happened. There was another life, I'd kill myself again. By the way,
so
there is another life.
I should tell her that you are coming, or
I'm coming. We're coming.
You're rude. Fine. Yes. And he turns and shuffles off. He stops.
I'm sleepy. Sorry. He's gone. He can't hear me. And now
so
I'm talking to myself.
He just walked out, and you're talking to the hallway.
Amos. Miss Tippet. She wants to talk to us.
Of course she does.
Hey, get up.
It's like dawning on Berg, like all the shit. Yeah, like we gotta go. Like,
okay.
Zeke. Now I'm just imagining Berg as Goldblum.
I guess we stumble out and go to Miss Tippet's across the hall
downstairs. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you get downstairs, and and her the door to her office is open again, and she's inside, and you can hear her having like a quiet conversation with someone as you approach.
I try to eavesdrop a little as to hear if I can hear what she's saying.
Yeah. All right, make a perception check.
Disadvantage, so 16.
16, not bad. Okay. So
I do it.
yeah,
Two.
I think that you overhear. At this point, the conversation isn't like, it's not like one of these like scripted things where they're like starting the conversation and then they only say the important stuff and then they're finished. I think it's mostly like you hear a man's voice kind of admonishing Miss Tippet, and he says, "I thought you'd given all this up." Well, you know what they say about old dogs. No one has ever called you a dog before. That's not what I meant. Well, you're getting in over your head, I think. You promised. Well, promises are made to be broken. Yes, I remember. So they're having a conversation about something, but you can't quite, like, there's no context to pick it out.
Yeah. I think we lightly rap on the door when we get there, just to let her know we're there.
Yeah, so you hear Miss Tippet from inside say, "Come in."
Miss Tippet, we heard you wanted to speak with us.
So you come into her office, and it's set up very much like it's somewhere between like grandma's parlor and an office. So there's a desk, and she's sitting on the other side of it. There's another person in the room. We'll get to him. Immediately to your left, there is a wooden rack with a very fancy looking top hat and a long leather coat hanging on it. There are some chairs sitting out. Yeah, there are doilies everywhere. There are paintings, like charcoal drawings of dozens of people, all in mismatched frames, all over one wall. Like one wall is just covered in these charcoal portraits. There is a low, kind of squat like cabinet. There's a tea set sitting on top of it, but the two of them are having a drink of some kind of like digestive, and there are plates on the desk. Like it looks like they've just finished eating something, not a full meal, but like empty plates. And sitting in the seat across from her, there is a rather like rotund man. He's got big white sideburns. He appears to be human. He doesn't have the grayish like pallor of the Voidborn, and he has no like inhuman features that would mark him as a tiefling. He's got these big sideburns, and he's wearing a button-up shirt with his sleeves rolled up, big muscly hairy arms, and he's wearing a waistcoat, like a vest, and then he has striped pants and like leather shoes. And he's like bald on top, but with the kind of like Mr. Burns, like around the outside, the tonsure, the unintentional tonsure. And he's sitting across from Miss Tippet, who she's a little dressed down from usual. Like normally she wears like a corset and like a big kind of Victorian like a bustle kind of like thing. But she's just wearing like almost like kind of a masculine outfit. Like she's got a shirt, a button-up shirt that's a little like daintier, more like a blouse, and a pair of like slacks and her like leather boots. So she's changed since last time you saw her. And he stands up and he turns with a big smile. And he's got like several teeth in the front have been replaced. They're not his normal teeth. They're this like green iron. And he grins when he sees the two of you. He puts out a big meaty hand, I guess, to Ramus, because you're the first one in. And he says, "Miss Tippet has told me so much about you. You're Ramus, and this must be Berg, hmm?"
You have me at a disadvantage, sir. I don't know who you are.
Of course. You may call me Mr. Nice Guy. Miss Tippet and I have known each other a long time. And you notice that he has, as he extends his hand, he has around one finger, he has a scar shaped like a ring around his finger. You notice kind of offhand as he puts it out. Do you shake his hand?
Yeah, I shake his hand.
Okay.
Pleasure to meet you,
then
sir.
And he smiles and says, "No, no, no. The pleasure is all mine. You've been causing quite a stir here in Opportunity. And this tall fellow," and he reaches out to you, Berg.
Mm.
You shake his hand.
Mhm.
Okay. When you do, he like shivers a little and holds his hand back and he says, "Ooh, oh my, yes, I see what you're saying now, Miss Tippet. He is special. They both are. I don't know how everyone in town can't have already seen it. So, alive. Please come, sit. I was just sharing with Miss Tippet some liquor that I brought." And he gestures, and there's a glass bottle, a fancy glass bottle with some kind of like shimmering, like oily looking fluid in it.
What
Oh.
is that?
What do you call it?
He says, "I traded for it from a caravan that I encountered on my journeys some time ago. Before I came to Opportunity this most recent time, I'm something of a traveler, a merchant. I go from necropolis to necropolis. I used to live here, in fact, but after some unpleasantness," and when he says that, he casts a glance at Miss Tippet, like accusingly. "After some unpleasantness, I decided to pack up and leave my management of the business here to my underlings. I try to come back to the Outlands whenever I can, but it's dangerous territory. But the heart wants what it wants, and here we are. But you didn't ask for my unlife story, did you? Please, sit. I think you'll enjoy this." And he takes the decanter and he pops it open and he pours two very delicate, like crystal glasses on the table. He sits back down.
I grab it and take a sip of it. Just a
Okay.
small sip to
Yeah.
see what it's like.
It tastes like cold almost. Like, you know, when you have something really minty in your mouth and you like breathe in, you get that kind of like sense in your sinus of that cold taste. So yeah, it tastes cold, and then when that cool kind of fades, there is a like a warm sensation that comes after it in its wake that reminds you of like a bit like ash, but with a like an undernote of like cherry almost. It's very strange, but it's quite good.
Ooh, that is most delightful. Berg, you must try it.
This is very strong. Careful.
Or grabs glass and
Good. I like it.
I'm so glad. My gift to you and to Miss Tippet, to new friends. And Miss Tippet has been sitting here, kind of like clicking her little claws together, waiting for Mr. Nice Guy to finish. She says, "You boys have been causing trouble."
Well, disrupting things is kind of what we do. On purpose or not, just how things are around us.
So you understand then that you can't keep staying here. I can turn the judges away only for so long before they decide that our little deal doesn't count anymore. I can't be the host to fugitives.
I figured as much, but if we have our way, we won't be in your way any longer soon enough.
So
I don't
Mr.
want to
Nice.
stay.
Yeah, Mr. Nice Guy says, yes, exactly. And this is where I think I can help. Miss Tippet and I, we met during more adventuresome days, we were vein hunters for a time. Got quite rich doing it. Retired here to opportunity to help others traverse the veins. I think maybe this is where you're headed.
Yes.
Mm.
We are searching for the big one.
I have friends with similar desires here in opportunity. One in particular who I think would like to meet you. She is curious about exploring the other side of the vein. So, let's talk business. You want to get out of here, yes?
Indeed.
And return to wherever it is you came from.
Right again.
But before you can, you want to find your friends? Is that it?
You are on a roll. That's 3.
Good. Good. It's nice to feel we're on the same page. You have some options. I'm willing to offer my expertise in this regard, but ultimately the choice will be yours. There are 2 veins I believe could serve your purpose. Now, most of the time when a vein opens, it's more a window than a door. And even if it is, our kind could not survive the passage. You shouldn't have been able to either this way, but it does happen from time to time. Lost things find their way from your world to ours. Such a vein exists here in opportunity. It is the jewel over which the Mara are fighting. The Divine Comedy is in charge of it now, but that could change. It could fall into the hands of the Basilica or the Lodge at a moment's notice. This kind of chaos is good. It's why opportunity exists. But someone is going to be guarding it. The entrance, the way in, it will be difficult, but it's here at home. Predictable, reliable. We understand its parameters. Now, and he kind of makes an awkward face and he looks at Miss Tippet. She rolls her eyes like, just fucking say it. And he obviously won't. So she instead, she's like, what Mr. Nice Guy is refusing to say to you is that your other option would have been easier before you murdered Aorta. But now he's dead. So thank you for that. You've created...
Aorta. With respect.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, yes, of course. But, see, this is the thing. I don't know what it's like where you're from. But here, we try to get along with the people we don't like. Because you never know when an enemy might become a friend. But now Aorta is paste. Burnt paste, thanks to you. And I can't say that won't open up some doors for me, but we could have used him. He knew about a way out of here, another vein that was going to open. And I've checked with some diviners that I know, and, well, none of them have any clue. You two wouldn't happen to know a talented diviner, would you? And she gives you that like school marm, like, you fucked up, and I'm going to make you explain how you fucked up to me, even though I know I just want to hear you say it.
Well, we do, but there's one problem.
Mm-hmm. And what problem's that?
He's kind of in the custody of the Divine Comedy right now.
That's very true. So if you were to be able to rescue this friend of yours, he could lead you out of the necropolis, across the outlands, and you could find this vein and you could leave.
Very true.
And so Mr. Nice Guy returns to the conversation and says, so there you have it, your options. The devil you know, or the devil you don't. I will work on retrieving your friends. Though I have to tell you, there is some bad news. They haven't all come back. The big one with the sword, the tiefling girl, they're well in hand. But your strange friend, the one with the tusks, I'm sorry to say, he didn't make it.
Not Mr. Tiffles. I liked him.
Berg like looks straight at Ramus like,
Like, yeah, Ramus can't even be bothered to get his nickname right. Like, I'm sorry, Ramus. One of your friends has died. Oh, poor Brad. His name was Berg, Ramus. Poor Berg. Wow, what a shame.
Well.
Yeah.
Well, I thought they were all gone. That any of them are still alive is a blessing.
Well, then good news. And we'll wrap this one up as a win for today. So, as the lovely proprietress of this place mentioned, the uncomfortable truth is that you just can't stay here. You'll have to find your own way. But I think that we can arrange for somewhere safe for you to reconvene with your missing friends and then make that hard decision. Now, for me, my part in this, of course, is that, well, whichever vein you choose, I send along with you an agent, someone who can retrieve a thing or two from the vein and bring it back for me. I have no interest in this other side you're from, but these veins, they're going to be very, very rich. And I like being very, very rich, you understand.
I see.
I always thought if I had enough money, I might be able to come back here and again, he looks at Miss Tippet, smooth things over. I would like to return to opportunity on a more permanent basis. So, that's the deal. I take care of a place for you to hide out. Whichever vein you choose, I get salvage rights. We send you and your friends on your way. What do you think?
One thing. Others will be searching for these veins, yes?
Well, the vein here has already been discovered. The only reason that the hunters can't get at it is because it's well protected by whoever happens to be in charge. Those big purple entities you fought, they don't belong to any one Mara. They're a sort of balance for this place. I've always been curious as to where they came from, but they weren't here and now they are.
My point is, there will be fighting.
There's always fighting, my boy. Always.
Believe
It makes
me,
life interesting.
I know.
Are,
But
are you saying that whoever controls the vein controls these creatures?
Yeah, he shrugs. Whoever's in charge seems to have some degree of sway over the judges.
I need armor,
Interesting.
is what I'm saying.
we might be able to make an arrangement for you.
But yes, all we want is to get through. If you want to bring someone through, that's fine. You can keep everything on this side. That's fine. I think the deal terms are acceptable to us.
Good. Well, and he stands up. And he kind of gives like a theatrical bow to Miss Tippet, who rolls her eyes. And he turns and he gives a little like salute to the two of you. And he says, "It looks like I've got work to do. I'm going to go and talk to a friend of mine, and then I'll send word, give you an address, somewhere you can go and hide out. Until then, my darling, if you'll keep an eye on these two, I think we've set the ball rolling. I've got a good feeling about this."
Well, thank you so much for your help, sir.
So as you're talking, he turns and he takes his coat down and he goes to put it on. And as he's putting it on, he reaches a hand out, and from the underside of his top hat, 5 kind of hairy spider legs unfold from under the hat, and the hat climbs up his arm, up onto his head, and then the legs slurp up back in the hat, and the hat falls onto his head. He taps it to get it into place. And he smiles at you, and he says, "Keep out of trouble for a few hours." And he turns, and he walks out. And Miss Tippet, as he walks away, Miss Tippet looks at you, Ramus and Berg, and she says, "Can I give you boys a piece of advice?"
Yes.
Never get married. And then she drinks the whole rest of her drink and sets the cup down. And when she does, we cut to Broken Promises. Now, Broken Promises, tell me where you go to get, like, you're picking up the outfits that have been made for Amira and Maharib.
And you want me to describe where I go to do
Yeah, just
that?
where are you? Because basically, we're gonna flow the scenes together, but I want to know where you are when I introduce the person.
I want to say just like the honestly, this may sound like too apropos, but like the garment district of town, like it's a lower middle class kind of a place where everybody does their washing and their laundry and stuff like that. And I have, like, I would assume some sort of connection or arrangement with someone in the garment district that I can get, clothes for people who want to remain unnoticed and that kind of thing. So I don't have to, like, go to the market or anything like that. And if I don't, I would send somebody in my stead to do that for me. I would send, an underling to go fetch me, these clothes with these measurements. Tell, hands that stink like ink to make me these garments and bring them back to me. Something like that.
Yeah, there's definitely somebody whose name is like the best motherfucking shirts in town.
Yeah.
So, for 2 reasons, both their predilection for romantic interludes with people's moms, and then also because of the shirt thing. So you would have, I guess, so you'd send a way to have someone bring them to you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So maybe you're back. So you're back at the safe house. Maharib, you're awake, and Amira is asleep and seems to be having like kind of a fitful sleep. She keeps mumbling to herself and whatever. But the two of you are you're just basically just waiting for someone to bring you this package. And I'll interrupt with that delivery, but I want to give the two of you a chance to talk if you want.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to think of can I do the same kind of insight check on Maharib that I did on Amira to see, like, if I were to offer him a gift or something like that. Okay.
So, Maharib, are you making any effort to remain sort of like closed off? I mean, I know that Maharib is like usually pretty closed off, but are you trying to obfuscate your feelings and thoughts from broken promises, or
I mean,
are you more
think,
like
I think
distracted?
we can represent that in play. So if he wants to
Okay.
offer me,
Yeah, I
whatever
just
he
want to know
wants
if you're
offer me.
resisting, in which case I'll let you make a roll, or if we can just have the insight roll and then
He
you
can
can
just-
decide how much
He could just make the insight
you
roll.
saw him roll.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Make the roll.
12.
Okay. So that's how much Broken Promises got a 12 worth of. Also, seriously, man, come on, you got a +7.
That's a 5.
It's
Yep.
another 5. Yeah, you have it. I think that's
3,
his
4,
highest
4s,
roll.
and 5. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, so I think maybe you like I wake up and tell like Amira that she can sleep now and I'll watch over blah blah blah, and then I think
Yep.
you catch me kind of like standing near her with my back towards you, and we can kind of start the scene there.
Yeah. Okay.
She acts as if she's your protector. It's charming.
Well, it's a long story, but I turn around and start walking towards you, and I put my hand out. I want to thank you. You could have killed us back there. I'm like going to shake your hand.
I definitely reach out my hand and shake yours. When you touch her hand, you realize like she's got like almost no meat on her bones. She's super thin, and you could like break her bones so easily. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think like I start with a strong grip, and I think I noticed that, and you see me like maybe even a facial reaction of like, oh, I apologize. I suppose you don't have any food down here.
Oh, I do. I'm not sure if it would be to your liking. I'm not quite sure how you work. I've never dealt with something like you before. But we do have food. Be my guest. Not much, but enough to sustain you for a day or two. Well, you maybe half a day.
Amira has already eaten like most of it, but there's still like some.
Yeah, I start to walk over to the food. I'm not sure what I like these days. It's been an interesting time. How did you come to know about us? Surely not everyone knows that I'm not from here.
Not everyone, but when you're in my profession, you have your ears open. You have people telling you things for one reason or another. Take, for instance, this place. The reason why we are able to board ourselves here is because I know something about the owner of the business that presides over us. Something that he doesn't want anyone else to know. I have a lot of friends like that. Well, not friends. Acquaintances. You see what I mean? But although I am exceedingly good at my business, I do grow tired of it. And my heart has a wanderlust, and just being near you and feeling the differing energy coming off of you, it's more enticing than any meal or wine that I could ever describe. I want so badly to find out and to see where you come from.
I've got some type of food in my hand, a piece of bread or something like that. And I'm leaned up against the wall and take a big bite, kind of staring at you and nodding the entire time. So
What was that language you were speaking before? I've never heard it before.
Which one was that?
Very gruff, very rumbly, very... It was like the mountains were talking.
In giant, I say, this one.
Yes, yes. And you see like her face brighten up. It's because she's never, she's not used to not knowing things. So you see it's like a new thing, and she's very excited to see it. Like, yes, yes, that, please. What is the language?
I guess to you it would make most sense that it's the language of my ancestors, but not everyone of my kind can speak it. So it's not very common.
Your
Oh, that's a different
ancestors.
language.
Your ancestors. Now, you may pass.
Okay, so let's just ancestors.
Does that make sense?
You don't know what that word
Oh, that's right.
means.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So instead of okay, thank you.
You assume maybe you assume that's a giantish word, but yeah, I'll try to remind you. You remind me too.
Thank you. Yes. Ancestors. I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with that word.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Huh. What do you know of this other world? Do you know anything about it? Or simply that it exists?
I know it's a world of mystery and horrifying things, but those are tales told by fools and rumor spreaders and that kind of thing. And rarely do I find them to be true.
So this is a way, and I just want to ask: is this for you? Is this a way in which you and your technical, like your master or whatever, differ? Like, do you? Because this is the thing, like the void, the Church of the Void. He whose name's whole jam is that the void is truth and goodness, and the world on the other side of the veins is a distraction and is bad and is poison. Right? It is misleading to try to like void hunting is bad and the energy, like the juice is wrong, like that kind of stuff. But you have this fascination with it. Is that something that is like different for you, or
What do you,
are we revealing something?
Is it different for me? What do you mean?
Well, because it doesn't sound like you. Because the Church of the Void is like things from the world are bad.
Right.
They are corrupt and villainous. And the way you were just describing the world sounds like that isn't true for you personally.
Well, no, it's absolutely not true. It's the person that's smart enough to know that the organization that they're in is wrong, but also smart enough to stay in it because it's the winning side.
Correct. Okay, cool. I was interested about that. I was curious. And
Yes.
yeah, so, okay. Anyway.
Yeah, very, no, Broken Promise is a very logical mind and a very illogical organization.
Cool.
Okay, so, but those are just rumors. And if you've been in my business long enough, you learn that most rumors are either completely false or they're exaggerated to the point of meaninglessness. And also, like I said before, there's something that angers me. It frustrates me. It's a feeling I can't explain. I hate that. Every feeling I have, I can explain it. I know why it's there and what purpose it serves. What draws me to this other place it confounds me, and it angers me, and it excites me. I'm sorry. Does that make sense?
You asked me like mid chew, and I look back at you.
Yep.
No, not really. But how about this? I need some sort of currency between the two of us. You seem to have a lot of questions, some of which I have answers to, and some of which my friends, if they're still alive, might have answers as well. So how about this? I answer a question a day, and you help me find my friends, and I take you back to my world, if we can get back, until you have no more questions, and we'll consider it square.
Then you shall know me as Crazy Dan from now on.
3 per
See,
day.
I was gonna say the thing about broken promises is that she just wants to be where the people are, wants to see them dancing, walking around
I know,
with their
right?
what do you
Yeah,
call
yeah.
them, souls. I really
No,
like the dark aerial vibe. It's really good.
Got that shit. That's great.
So good.
One question a day. Is that what you're limiting me to?
It's the only thing of mine that you seem to want. I have nothing else to bargain with.
Appears that large head is for more than housing a thick skull. I can appreciate your posture. Very well. It's a deal. One question a day. Does that start now? Can I have my question now?
You just see him nod. He takes another bite of the final bite of the bread, and kind of wipes his hands, get the crumbs off.
What is your finest memory from your life in the other realm?
So before you get a chance to answer, Maharib, there's a knock. There's a knock on the door.
Are we expecting someone?
Yes, we are. If you would pardon me, your new attire awaits. And I turn around and I go up. Oh, and I turn back. Oh, by the way, if you would wake up Amira, I don't think she would appreciate my waking her up. In fact, might find a sword in my face if I did that.
And you turn and you look at Amira, and she's literally laying. So she's lying on the bed, turned with her face to the wall. And then there's the sword is lying in its scabbard, lying in front of her, and she's just holding onto it like a body pillow. And she's just asleep, just drooling a little bit.
Has it been long enough to consider it? How long has she been asleep? I guess is what I'll ask. Hours, minutes.
She'll get her long rest. This is at the end of the long rest for both of you.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. I go over to her then. And
Okay. So you go to wake her up. We stick with broken promises. You are going over to the door.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So when you answer it, at the door, we see someone. You know who this is. We've seen them now. They've been introduced. It is a portly man in a long leather coat and a top hat with big bushy sideburns. You see Mr. Nice Guy at the door, and he's holding a package, a brown paper package tied up in string. And he smiles, his big smile, and you see his green iron teeth. And he says, "So lovely to see you, Broken Promises. I've something for you, and I think you have something for me. Can I come in?"
Absolutely. Mr. Nice Guy, it is, as ever, wonderful to see you. Please, right this way.
Oh, please. Mr. Nice Guy was my father. And he tells this joke that he doesn't understand because you don't understand it. He just heard someone say something like it once, and he says that all the time, even though no one has ever laughed. It's he keeps trying it.
What's a father?
Yeah, right? No one knows what that is. So he's is that a horse or what? But he keeps saying it. Anyway, so he says that. Yeah, and he comes in. And he has this package that he's got bundled up in his arms. And he says, I guess, do you show him right into where Maharib and Amira are, or, is there a little foyer where you have a private conversation first?
Yes,
it's a safe house, so it's probably
yes.
pretty small.
I stop him and I just question him. I trust there were no problems acquiring the things I asked for.
No, not at all. I've got your package here, and the rest of the delivery is in the loving arms of my ex-wife. She's going to keep track of them for now, but we don't have a lot of time. The judges are out on the hunt.
Yes,
And
I
that
know.
that dead elephant is only going to buy us so much time before the comedy turns around and starts looking for the others.
Can I hear that?
Make a perception check.
14.
Maybe I'm going to roll.
It's pretty middle of the road.
He's saying it pretty quietly. No.
Oh, okay.
You hear like a low frequency stuff. Like you can hear that Broken Promises is speaking quietly to someone else, and this person has like a low voice, but you can't make out any words.
Okay.
How were they? Were they in good health? Good spirits?
They seem robust. They survived a judge, and once they're back in fighting shape and properly equipped, I think they should be able to escort you to the threshold. But we both know that this is about more than just physical fortitude. Do you think? And he gestures with his head to the other room, and when he does, the hat tips and starts to fall off of his head, and then the little spider legs reach out, grab his scalp, and pull the hat back on. And he says, "Do you think they are going to make it? You can't go in there with weakness. These things are reactive, you know."
Well, 3 of the 4 made it through this way. I don't see why they couldn't make it back. There's only one that I'm curious about, and she seems strong. She puts on airs of being stronger, but I can tell there's fortitude in her.
That's the one that came here with the other hunters, Bugfucker's friend, right?
Yes, that foul creature. Yes,
Poor
that's
miserable thing.
that would be the one. Well, thank you very
acceptable
much.
losses.
Yes.
And he's holding the package, and you start making that kind of like, well, thanks, you can go. And he goes to like be like, I'm gonna go in and talk. Like, let me introduce myself. Unless you get in his way. You're both doing that like polite dance, right? Where he's not gonna be like,
Right.
Get out of the way, let me go talk to them, but he definitely wants to.
Right. Oh, did you want to speak with them?
I think it's important to see what I'm investing in, don't you?
I'm considering it.
Considering it. Don't be coy. Let me have a look at these strangers before we send them to whatever awaits.
You know I could never resist your charms. Come, you can meet them.
And he puts a big furry hand on his chest, and he says, if my heart weren't already spoken for, what an adventure we'd have.
Indeed.
And
When are you going to get back with her?
All in good time, one step at a time, one cycle after another.
Oh,
and
and
yeah.
be careful with your panache. They're apprehensive enough as it is. I'm doing my best to calm them, but your debonair ways may make them fly away.
He scowls and he says, as if it were something I could control. And
Right, this
strides
way.
into the room. So while they're talking, Maharib, you will have woken Amira up, and she's still carrying around this janky, like weird, crappy sword. You still can't place why, but even after resting, something about it feels like off and like repugnant to you. And I think, can you make an insight check for me, Maharib?
4.
Oh, a 4. Okay. She's being weird and you don't know why. She's just being weird.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I just very brute force it. And are you angry with me? You're
No.
acting strange. That
Everything's
right there.
fine.
Yes. Okay, great.
I'm fine. It's fine. I just am stressed out because of everything that's happened so far. Plus amnesia, you know.
I never thanked you for like bringing me back, saving me, turning whatever this is.
We're even now. Don't worry about it.
I suppose so. His friend, I believe, is back. We have a barter system.
Yeah, and I think that's when he comes in, and yeah, you see this guy in his hat and his coat, and he's carrying a paper package, and he walks in and he says, he looks at the two of you, and he smiles and he says, I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Are you the tailor?
No, just a messenger, I'm afraid. An old friend of your hostess. They call me Mr. Nice Guy, a name I earned, I assure you. And he does he takes his hat off, and there's a faint squeak of protest, and you think you see 5 little legs wriggling, trying to grab his head as he yanks his hat off. And he takes a deep bow, and he puts the hat back on. You hear a faint sigh from under the brim, and he says, "But I think I already know who you are."
It's a pleasure.
Maharib, Mira, Mr. Nice Guy. This is well, I don't know. How would you describe our relationship? Are we friends?
He puts his hands out, sort of helplessly, and he says, "Well, as close as any two like us can be, I think."
There you have it.
More importantly, I'm a facilitator of sorts, a businessman. I've worked out an arrangement with some friends of yours, Maharib. Tall, greenish fellow, not too bright.
They live.
Shorter one, not too kind.
And
they do.
The elephant?
Though.
Large creature, huge ears?
Yes, about that.
Sadly, he did not return from death.
You notice, Maharib, an exchange between Broken Promises and Mr. Nice Guy where because Broken Promises stepped in to say the bad thing, there's a body language change where Mr. Nice Guy's like, good, I didn't have to say it.
Did I see Yotazo fall in combat? Did I fall before him?
I can't. I think he fell before you did. Yeah.
Okay. All right, then yeah, that makes sense to me. Okay. I just you see me kind of trail off and just stare off into the distance. I don't really say anything after that.
Well,
and
his death has provided us with a buffer of sorts. The queen is concerned with her pet for a very, very small time. Soon her eyes...
I know what you mean.
Or the king. I'm sorry, the king. My bad.
Yeah, I know. That's an easy mistake to me.
Yep. But soon enough, the king's eyes will turn to you and your friends with no distractions whatsoever. So what we do now, we must do quickly, and we must do quietly.
A parting gift.
Yes. And so to that end, I give you this. And he hands the package to you. And you can feel there's a cloth inside. New outfits. And I've put out some feelers for equipping a little excursion. A deal that I made with your Ramus Krill. The group of you are going to... Well, you're going to leave town. There's a couple of options. There's some veins that are open to you to make egress, but let's reunite you before you make any important decisions. And he turns to you, promises, and says, shall I bring them here, or do you have another place you'd like them to go?
Are they at your ex-wife's establishment at the moment?
When you say that, he's like, not in front of the... Don't call her that in front of them. So he gives you a look, and he says, yes, they are at Miss Tippet's now.
Oh, shut up. I don't know anything about anything. Don't need to hide. They're leaving anyway.
Is there a
Okay,
body?
so-
Yes.
I just interrupt.
Yeah. So Mahari was just like, interrupt. So what do you say? Is there a body?
Is there a body of my friend, the elephant?
There is, but it's in the hands of the comedy now. So
If I
think
think
of
what if I can suss out what you're thinking, it's not worth it.
there may be a trip to the comedy one last time before you make your way, but I'll let Ramus explain that to you. We have the who and we have the what, but we need the where. I leave that to you. Promises.
I'm sorry. Maybe further explanation is warranted.
He says, the locale for this joyous reunion. I can go and retrieve the other two and bring them here, or if you have a third place you would like us all to go.
I see. I
More
thought
safe.
you meant for the the entire mission, so to speak. Yes,
One step at a
the
time.
the way from here to there. How long is it? Like how far apart in the city is it? Is it pretty far? Or?
You've never seen the Opportunity Vein. In fact, no, most people haven't.
No,
It's assumed that
no.
it's somewhere below the city. Oh, but from here to Miss Tippett's?
Yeah. Just for the first meeting.
It's in the neighborhood, but you're not allowed to go there. That's not on the table. So they could go and he could bring them here or whatever, but like nobody's going to Miss Tippett's. People are leaving there, but they're not going back.
This box that I was handed, is it wooden?
It's a paper like packet.
Okay.
So it's cloth. It's cloth that's been laid on brown paper and then wrapped and then tied up with string.
Is Broken Promises is looks like she's doing like mental math or something to think about how far away it is. Like Captain America, the box, just like rip it open, grab the clothes and throw them to Amira, and then just interrupt again and just say, "I need a weapon."
That's I was going to ask you that, Adam. I was going to ask you
first
if
of all,
I had noticed his weapon.
So first of all, what do the outfits look like? Like, are you trying to dress them up like something in particular, or just like vein hunting mercenaries, or what do you think?
I would think that, like, if you took like the protective like leather bibs off of a tanner, like underneath clothes of that.
Okay, so just like laborers' clothes.
Yes.
Okay. That's fine. So Mr. Nice Guy, when you say like, what about a weapon? A couple of things happen. Amira looks confused and like a little hurt or upset, but you're not looking at her, Maharib, so we see that. But behind you, she's just like looks at you and you say that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then Mr. Nice Guy says, yes, accoutrement of violence will be provided for you as needed. I've got decent men working on it now. Your tall friend, and he like looks at you, Maharib. You can see him doing the math. Like, is Burke taller than this guy? Well, the tall one anyway requested some armor, so I'm looking into it. Where you're going to need it. So, if you have any special requests,
Would I have noticed or made note of his giant sword that he carried with him or not?
he doesn't have a giant sword.
Yeah,
No,
Amira,
before he-
But in like your research, yes, yeah. That has changed. The girl is carrying the sword around now, and Maharib has no weapon.
Oh, so that sword that she leans on or whatever, that's his old sword.
That's his sword. Yep.
Okay, got it. Never mind then.
He says any special request.
Yeah.
I just say any weapon does not matter. A shield, though.
He nods.
Get him
Of course.
something blunt and brutal. He looks like he could crush several skulls in one swipe.
You get a look from Mr. Nice Guy that's like a little raised eyebrow, like, oh, really? Is that what you think he looks like? Right.
And I smile back at him like, yeah, goddamn right. That's what I think.
So he says, good. Work to be done then. I'll go and let the other two know that they can come here. I'll have someone keep an eye on them on the way, and then I'll finish about getting you your equipment. I'm very excited. Very excited indeed.
Thank you for your
As
help.
well.
And he nods, and he says, he looks like he's about to say something, and then he just grins and kind of like rubs his hands together and walks off thinking about the future version of him that's going to be super rich.
And I just because I think he might enjoy it as he's walking away, I just say after him, "Tell your father I said hello."
Yeah, and he chuckles and kind of waves behind him as he goes, and yeah. So Berg and Ramus, do the two of you talk at all about like what your plans are in advance? Like, I want to get a moment where Berg and Ramus are like, okay, so we're gonna go to this vein. Which one do we think is good? Or like a short conversation there. So maybe you're in your room, like packing up your stuff, getting ready to leave.
Mm-hmm.
That sound good? Okay.
Yeah. Well, Berg, what do you think? We have one vein that's heavily guarded by probably the best troops they can muster. And the other is the prison, which I don't know how guarded that is. Bust him out and hope that he can lead us to the vein. Both of these don't sound good to me, but there are only two options right now.
Either one is most likely gonna require force and fighting. I will need armor if I'm to be at my best. So we must do that before. Nice guy seemed like he was able to supply that.
I'm just for the record, I'm going to be calling him Spider Hat from now on.
Perfect. Good. It's fair.
Spider Hat will be getting you some armor. So he says, if we can trust this thing.
Might be easier to fight out in the open than try to break into a prison.
Well, the vein will be deep in the ground. You don't know what it's going to be like down there. Tight quarters, possibly open space. I have no idea. But it's obviously down below the city.
We've fought in caves and dungeons before.
I just worry. He said that the thing we fought, the one that massacred us, was just one of more. Maybe more of those things down there than just the one up here. And that thing devastated us. That's my only fear.
Sneaking.
But for all we know, there could be another one in there too. What were you saying?
Sneaking has never been a strong strength of mine. Seems like how you'd go about sneaking into the prison. Words are hard for me right now.
I love Burke so much. It's not one of my strong strengths. It's one of my not so strong strengths. Weaknesses? Yes, that word.
You're unique, Berg. Don't change. Well, I know your not strong strength is sneaking. I'm not very good at either.
Why
Well,
are
we're
you
gonna have to
smiling
go.
at me?
No reason. Just I'm happy.
Oh, well, good.
Well, we're gonna have to go charging in and kill a bunch of people, either the prison or the vein. Just a matter of which one we have the best shot at.
Are we hitting Maharib? We are, yes, before.
Yeah, they apparently he's back, but he was very dead when I saw him last. So that concerns me about how he
Yes.
came back.
I don't know.
And if he
But
came
I
back,
would
why
bet-
didn't the elephant?
Maybe he will come back. But only, I think, the queen or king is confusing here. Grabbed him, even if dead.
Yes, I'm sure she's probably got to his body. She seemed very weird.
That's what I mean, even if dead. Sad. I'm sure he would not have liked to die this way.
Oh, no one wants to die. And Maher and
Well,
Yodazo deserved better than what he got.
perhaps we talk more with Maharib. Make choice then.
Yeah. We need to see what kind of condition he's in. And there's this new person, some agent from this of Spider Hat. I don't know what they are, what they're capable of. Maybe they have something that some combat skills that we don't know about. But yes, we should meet up with them and discuss it with them too. Where the hell is he? He said he would contact us. It's been hours.
Yeah, and I think by the time you have your stuff together, right, and you're like ready to go, you are retrieved. There is a messenger that comes to you, and gives you an address within the city. So it gives you a district and then a sub district within that, and a place, a tannery. And they say to you, like, go to this tannery, tell the person at the door, right? Tell the owner of the tannery, tell them that you have a promise to fulfill, and the owner will send you in the right direction. They'll secret you away, but stay hidden, stay out of the way. Don't let anyone see you between here and there. And by the void, don't let anyone follow you.
Okay. This is gonna be rough. Actually, we do have a way to get there. Stealthily. All right, we will start heading there.
Stealth. Ramus,
Luckily,
not my strong strength. we already covered.
I know that. We just have to make it to the hole.
That's
can use
true.
our
So you want to go
tunnels.
back down and
The
That could
tunnel's as
work.
far as we can get to that direction.
nice. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's have you do that then. So you head for the tunnels, and it's real easy to get from one to the other without too much trouble from where you are to the entrance to the tunnel. You get down in the tunnels, and now you got to navigate them. So make a nature check.
Survival.
Yeah, survival. Sorry, in this case.
20.
Yeah, Ramus.
Well then.
Now you still have disadvantage, so it's actually a 16, right? Because you're still exhausted.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're good. Even with a 16, like 16 is great. So yeah, you're certain. Ironically, it's just like how it works in real life. The day before you leave town, you finally figure out where everything is. You're like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a 7-Eleven like 2 blocks this way, and then we go right, and you're just like, wait a second, now I know it. Time to leave. So you head down into the tunnels, and this is like 8 hours later. So all of the sort of fleshy bits that were attached to the walls have basically died. So this place stinks. It stinks of like rotting meat. There are chunks of it kind of like decomposing on the ground. There are no scavengers in these tunnels. Nothing has come to feed off this place. But it reeks. It is a charnel house, which is great because when you get to the tannery, it won't smell so bad. So you navigate this tunnel. It takes several hours because you can't go there directly, but you stay out of sight of the city. And I think that we see up above, we get a cut between you navigating the tunnels, and then up above, we see agents of the Divine Comedy like interrogating people, asking if they've seen you. They're showing this sort of almost like cartoonish image of Ramus as this hideously burnt, like wizened old monster, and then Berg as this huge, broad-shouldered, like jagged sawtooth monstrosity. And they're like showing everybody, like, have you seen them? They're dangerous. They've come from a terrible place, and they're here to like ruin your way of life. Where are they? And so they're searching for you in the city. But you evade notice by using Aorta's tunnels. And you make your way to the tannery that was pointed out to you. So you come up out of the tunnel and you see the tannery itself. What do you do?
I think we look around to make sure that we don't notice any of the Divine Comedy anywhere around us before we start heading towards it.
Make a perception check.
And then Berg would help me with this since he's looking as well. So
Is that true,
strong
Berg?
roll.
That's fine.
Yeah. But I mean,
Nice. Yeah, without Berg's help, this would have been a 5, but it's a 20. It appears to be safe. The only people you see coming and going are customers of the tannery, and the tannery's like actual workers.
Okay. Saying that it's clear, give Berg the nod to start going towards the tannery. We start shuffling over there.
Okay. Yeah. So you get there, no problem. You walk up to the tannery, and you walk in, and you see someone. You see a man at the front at the desk, and he's like writing in a ledger. He looks up. He's this thin, kind of like burnt looking man, and he looks up, and he says, "Yes, what is it?"
Hoping you could help us find something, because we have a promise to fulfill.
He scowls at you. Is that so?
Yeah, I heard that you could help us.
I suppose I don't have much choice, do I? He gets up. He pushes his stool aside. He says, "Come on." And he goes to the back, and he opens a door, and he leads you through the tannery. So you see these big vats of bubbling fluid. There are there's a network of pipes that are dripping juice into the vats, and there are people stirring them. It's just painfully hot, and it smells terrible in here. Everyone is wearing big, like, heavy aprons and gloves, and they have they're wearing masks, like cloth masks over their face. And they don't pay you any attention as you walk through the back, and they're like stirring, and some people are like hanging up hides as you pass through this place. You come out into a work yard and across to a smaller building area, and he takes you to the door and he says, "Fine, there you are. Promise fulfilled. Now, while you're in there, you tell her this is getting tiresome. I'm getting sick of hanging this over my head. A man needs freedom, you know. Freedom to choose. And she's taking that away from me. You tell her." And he turns and he storms away.
I don't know what that was about, but okay.
Yeah, fucking weirdo.
And start heading down into the door.
Yeah. So it's just like it's a slightly like sunken like door that leads into a building that's sort of squat with an upper level and then a basement, but the door is like in the kind of basement.
Hello?
Are we
You
down
hear a
there?
voice from outside. Yep, Maharib and Promises.
Do I recognize it?
Hear
to be
Ramus's voice. Yeah, you definitely do.
Okay. I think I just go
I
to
will-
shout. And Ramus?
Yeah, I'll get up and walk towards the door. Oh, I see. We've been expecting you. And I open the door. Good evening. Won't you come in?
Wow, he never mentioned someone so beautiful would be greeting us.
I was warned about you, however. You have a way with words.
Honeyed
Speaking of
words are my
words.
specialty.
This is it. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is what it's going to be like for the rest of the campaign. It's going to be 100 episodes of this. So thanks
Yeah,
for
Berg's
coming.
face is literally like from Ramus to her to Ramus. Just like,
If I see Berg after that, I'm just, Berg, you're alive. I'd kind of
he
like.
snaps out. He's like,
I allow them to go the way, and I shut the door behind them because they're not even paying attention to me anymore.
Yeah, they're reunited with their friends. So yeah, you see Berg and Ramus, you see Maharib. Maharib, is there anything like you talked about how one eye is like discolored and kind of like desaturated? Is there anything else about you?
I'll just read what I have in the bio. All the scars on my body have healed. My skin has a grayish blue tone to it now, whereas before it was
That's
just
right,
kind of like a gray tone. I'm also like, I've seemingly lost a ton of muscle, and I'm just more like tone without giant fucking muscles. And then if you look at my face, you can definitely tell that like one of the eyes has basically had all of the crimson red drained from it, except for the bottom portion of it, where it's kind of milky. And the other eye is still crimson red. And I'm like going in for a full embrace of Berg. Maybe as you see all this.
yeah. Berg would give him a big old,
Yeah,
It's one of the like bro clap hugs.
bro.
well, yeah, two big
Right.
strong guys like
Yeah.
mustily hugging each other like, "Rawr." Yeah, we're kind of wrestling, but it's a hug.
Right.
Yep.
Maybe Berg slips, and then all of a sudden he's by his like waist, and like
Yeah, and there's a moment where your faces hover near each. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And I
That's for you, audience.
I let go of Berg and I say for the second time, Ramus. And I like stick my hand out. It's good to see the two of you.
Yes, Maharib. Are you feeling okay?
Feeling great.
Oh, Ramus. Maharib. Well, he's probably going to seem a bit different. He's experienced what many of us from this land have experienced before for the very first time. He's come back from being dead.
You don't have to talk about me like I'm not here. Broken promise.
No.
That's what.
It was as much for you as it is for him.
Yes.
You're going to be different. People are going to regard you differently.
I died. That happened. And she brought me back. We're square now.
But she didn't bring you back. She brought you plus something back.
Sure.
And that's
Gun
what I'm saying.
princess, you look different too.
So, in Giant, Amira says to you, Mahrib, what is that strange man saying?
Oh, right. I turn around and in Giant, this is Ramus, and you can understand Ramus. This is Berg. They are my friends. You knew them before. The farm happened. They regarded you as friend as well.
Well, acquaintance.
So, what language are you speaking?
That was in
on
Goliath.
her-
He would not heard friend unless he speaks Goliath or Giant. Sorry.
Oh, never mind.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know,
yeah.
Giant.
So, yeah, she says in Goliath, she's like, I don't like the look of him. He's got shifty eyes. The other one, though, he looks like he could fight.
Friends,
And she,
acquaintances, whatever you want to call each other, please, let's keep it to one language. I'm saying this in Infernal, I guess is the most basic language that I think most people speak.
so yeah, you say that in Infernal. Infernal's pretty common in the Void, so you say it in Infernal, and Amira says in Infernal, do these otherworlders speak our language?
Then I say in common, no, they don't understand any of this.
Well, I don't
And I
understand
say
anything that they
celestial.
say.
No.
Yeah, so just suddenly Berg starts speaking in Latin.
What is that burning sound you guys are making?
Yeah, they're speaking devil tongue. So Amira just gives up. She just like pouts. She sits down on the bed and folds her arms, and is like, "This is annoying, and I hate it. I'm not talking to anybody."
Mari, does she not speak either common or infernal?
She speaks infernal, but
Not common.
When you say the word infernal, Amira says, "I understood one word of that."
she does not speak common.
All right. So we do have a language barrier, easily handled. It's okay. But let's. Berg, yes, is that right? Is that what you prefer to be called?
Yes.
Okay. Ramus,
Yes.
I
My
think you mean Master Ramus.
Master Ramus girl.
my name is Unfailing Redeemer of Broken Promises, but you can call me
Oh,
Broken
that's a long
Promises.
one.
I am not saying all of that.
Just call him
You can
Broken
call me-
Promise. Is
Her, but yes,
her.
I will
Sorry.
call you broken.
that's fine. Whatever. Any part of the name is fine by me.
You can trust her. She could have killed me in a mirror. She did not.
This is a
That
safe
does not
place.
mean I can trust her.
Berg,
No offense.
you can trust her.
Okay. Well, we're here now. And we all have a common goal. If you would like, you may have a rest. I have 2 cots ready if you need to sleep. But I would caution that we need to go and act very quickly. So feed yourselves, rest, and we must be away as soon as possible. I can see by the looks in both of your eyes that you could use it.
I would love to, but I feel like something's preventing me from doing it again for another 20 hours.
Oh,
Like
have
I
you
could lay
already read-
down and I could just stare at the ceiling for 20 hours and then rest, but I just don't think I could sleep again.
Have you already rested then? I see. All right.
Yes, looks like we haven't, but we did as best we could.
Well then. What time of day is it, Adam?
There is no such thing.
Right.
The great and terrible eye of the Mara, the green sun that hangs over you, is constantly illuminating the world in a kind of greenish twilight, and then sometimes it's brighter or darker depending on how much of it is obscured by the moon.
Gotcha.
They were the reincarnation cycle. Moon dominant would have happened 8+. So like 12 hours in, they're kind of on like 10-hour cycles. So yeah, there's no real way of like measuring time. It's just how long until the next moon dominant.
Okay. I'm sorry, I've got munchkins over here. They're talking to me.
Well,
Okay,
and I think that like rather than starting the big like conversation about like what are we going to do next or whatever, now that you've been introduced, you're all in the same place. People can like rest and kind of let their guard down a bit. That's probably the place to end it and do goals and finish up, right? Because we'll want to start the next bit with moving forward with having plans and then executing them, right?
That makes sense to me.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, let's do goals now that everybody kind of knows what's up, and then that way I can plan the next session around the goals, the things that you want to do for your characters. So it's gonna feel weird doing goals at the end of the episode, but we'll shift it and we'll try it out. So why don't we start with let's start with Ramus. What are Ramus's goals now that you see where you're at?
I think survive the passage through the vein will be first goal.
Okay.
Rescue the business from prison.
Little action. Though the business might also be in prison. Okay, so rescue, little action. Yeah.
And then figure out if I can trust our new agent, our new companion.
Yeah. Okay, cool. With a name like Broken Promises, how could you not?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Cool. All right. Well, speaking of Broken Promises, what are your goals?
I would say because I want to earn their trust, but that's such a vague thing. Can I just say earn the trust of at least one more member of this party?
Pick one.
Okay. Let's do Berg.
Okay. Earn the trust
Never gonna
of
get
Berg.
it, never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. No, I'm just kidding.
So I heard you wanted experience points. I don't trust you yet. Still don't trust you. No, I don't trust you yet. Okay.
That's
Good.
a good goal.
Good. All right. What else?
Lead us safely out of the city.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
And
your third goal?
My third goal would be to now this is since I don't know if I'll be coming back to Opportunity, because if we find the vein and do the thing, we can just
get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. So I want to not like complete tear up all the contracts I can that are outstanding, like the Tannery. I want to let him off the hook. Like I want to redeem all the promises or something like that.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's not really like a thing that would need to like that could be episodes and episodes worth of you tying up loose ends that we don't know anything about yet. You can I'll just let you montage that next session, there's no challenge there. Yeah, because
Okay, cool.
we have no context for it. So if you go on these like little personal side quests, it's it's harder to make it kind of mean something for the show.
No, it's more like get one of like a contact or my contact, and then disseminate that news like amongst the people, at like a timed event, meaning like wait a day and then tell everybody or whatever. But we can do that later. Another goal for me would be to I want to what she really wants is to find out what lies on the other side of the void. So like stories and items or that kind of thing.
So
what could I compare that down into?
Something that would require a challenge. Maybe just like research the other side, right? Because you don't know what's going to happen to you when you get there. So yeah, successfully
what do we
research the
call?
other side.
The other side's probably much more fucked up than you think.
Yeah, I described. I think I described the dichotomy as like, it's like there's two worlds. There's a world of misery and suffering, and then there's the other thing. And people are like, well, which one is which? And I'm like, depends on where you're standing, I guess. So yeah, learn something about the world, like research, and this has to be like a role. It can't just be like Maharib tells you something, because there's no challenge there. You wouldn't get XP for that. So
Right, sure. We'll
but
figure
yeah,
that out.
like learn something that will help you tactically or whatever for like going to that place. Okay, cool. Berg, what about you?
Right, so the goals that I have down right now are escape the void, get new armor, reunite with
Okay,
Maharib.
yep.
Well, reunite with Maharib already happened.
Get new armor. Okay. That's that. Okay. And then yeah, what do you want for your other one?
Well, I'm assuming I don't get XP for reunite with Maharib. I did
Yeah,
write it
let
at the
me
beginning. Whether or not you,
let
I mean,
me
I know we
see.
didn't do
Yeah. We just skipped over like having goals for this session.
Dare you?
Just because we didn't have time to make them, and plus you didn't really do anything.
It's kind of
Like
a,
they reunited you with them. There was no challenge there. So yeah, just write another goal. So get yourself some armor, escape the void, and then do
You hear that?
you want to
Maharib?
help?
Reuniting with you is not worth anything.
that's fine.
That's right. It isn't. Yeah. Do you wanna like rescue little action? Do you want to like, yeah? What's your third thing?
Well, it all depends on whether or not we're going that route. You know, rescue little.
It sounds like you are. Yeah. I mean, this thing is getting the goals now. I can aim to have that stuff in the next
Let's do
session.
rescue little action. If it seems like that's where we're going, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Okay. Good. Okay. And then Maharib.
Escape the void. Still keeping that one. Find out why Mira is being weird. You can tell me if there's
I like that. Find out why
very
she's being
Maharib
weird.
gold. And then the third one will be, and I don't know if this is possible. You tell me. It kind of might fringe from the main path, but collect Yoda's remains.
Yeah. Well, you're going to the same place anyway, right?
Right.
I like
Can
it.
you say hail Satan? Hail Satan! Hail Satan! She's still learning.
She's still learning.
That's right. It takes time. All right, cool. Good. So we got goals for everybody. That's it. And then this time, so next session we'll go over them again real quick just so everybody knows what they are, and then we'll award XP at the end of the session as usual. But now I can kind of plan around what you guys are doing.
Cool.
Good. Cool.
All right. Let's do some shout outs. Zeke, you want to go first?
I sure do.
All right. Do some shout outs.
Oh, what's up, everybody? Thank you very much for bearing with the low FPS and all that kind of stuff from not being at home. I am tuning in from my friend's house with my little friend here. We're here in Oregon for my birthday, so thank you for watching. I'm out of here. I will be back for Drop Frames tomorrow. Nocturne after that, and then Thursday I'll be back home for regular broadcasting and stuff like that. So if you want to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, it's @Ezekiel_III. And lastly, of course, not least, I want to thank Max, Dan, JP, and Adam for making this a great highlight of my week every week.
Awesome stuff. Thanks for making it this week. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Dan, some shout outs.
Hi, I'm DansGaming, variety streamer on Twitch. Currently playing a lot of Skyrim. I'll be checking out Elder Scrolls Online Elsewhere expansion soon as well. See how that one is. Thanks for having me on the show. It was another fun episode. I love doing D&D every week. And once again, I can't wait until Tuesday to do it all again. Thank you all for having me on the show.
Awesome stuff. Mr. GassyMexican, some shout outs, if you will.
Thanks, guys, for watching, of course, like the others said. And again, to Zeke for putting forward that extra effort so that we could get a show, because I know we were all kind of itching to get back, especially after, like, tech issues that happened last time. That always sucks. But thanks, you guys, again, for watching. If you want to watch any of my stuff, I am pretty much GassyMexican on everything. I do some YouTube, variety streaming on Twitch. Later after this stream, I'm going to be doing some Total War 3 Kingdoms. Checking that out a little early for a cheeky little sponsored stream. If you want to come through, awesome. If not, no worries. And, of course, thanks to the rest of my wonderful friends and cast for doing what they do and allowing this all to be possible. See you guys next time.
Last but not least, because we're never going to forget him again after that post. I mean, he really got, he was pissed.
I was very upset.
Adam, some shout outs.
It's me. Thanks for coming, everybody. Special shout outs today to Barry for all of your hard work on the extension. It's super cool. Thank you, Barry, for putting in all the hard work on that. All of the times that I had to copy and paste your code and spin up the account are proven worth it. Also, I would like to say a very special thank you to our Dark Lord and Savior, Satan. Big ups to Satan in hell, where he rules. Hail him forever. If you want to, you can find all of the other blasphemous shit that I do on Twitter at Skinnyghost. Or at twitch.tv/Adam Coble. If you are not already super hype, if you don't have your hype pants on for Far Verona Season 2, get on it, because we're getting started soon. We put out a Patreon video today of episode 0. We picked a bunch of details about the show. And if you like sci-fi and you haven't already watched Far Verona, check that out. I'm going to be doing some design stuff to create some new things for the system tomorrow on my stream. So throw me a follow and check that out. Otherwise, you'll see me again right here for more Sword of Swords.
It'll be okay, I suppose.
Well, speaking of hype stuff, I forgot.
Yeah, I was about to say, your one shot.
Yeah, dude. Totally forgot.
Yeah,
I'm DMing
dude.
a one shot, man. My first ever time DMing on Twitch. I will be doing a one shot. It's coming up this Monday, right?
Yes, next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern, I believe.
Yep, 6 p.m. Eastern, May 27th. It's going to be a gang of newcomers, not necessarily to role playing, but to Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition for sure. We got Swifter, we've got Anthony Kongpan, we got Happy Hob, we got Katie Peters Plays, and me DMing. I am super excited to do this. It's just going to be a one-shot deal. I'm going to see if I can try the DM pants on, or if they're too big for me, because they might just be too big for me. We'll see. But that's coming up. We're going to do our character creation. I think that's going to be a Patreon thing. But
yeah, Thursday is when we're doing that.
Yep. So
Dan,
I'm really excited for that. So I hope you tune in.
Yeah.
I have a thought. So Dan, when Zeke GMs, I think we should just be in chat, just backseating as hard as we can, like just screeching about every tiny rules.
That is not the rule, Zeke. You would have got it incorrect.
Zeke, it's wrong. Zeke's wrong. Wrong, Zeke. No, fix it.
I'll be completely honest with you. For this one time and one time only on Twitch, I will not have chat on.
Fair.
I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could do it.
What's great is I know your phone number. I got a bunch of other ways to get at you.
All right.
I'm just
Let's go. Let's get out of here. I'm done.
All right, everybody.
Call it off.
That's it. We're done. We're going to go record that post-show, talk about everything that happened in today's episode. And like Zeke said, character creation on Thursday for his one-shot. Character creation for Saturday, or this Saturday for Far Verona Season 2. We got a bunch of stuff planned, so look forward to that. And then we have some other more stuff later in June that we can't really talk about just yet, but we're super excited to finally start talking about that, because it's been months in the works. Month. It's been in works for months. That's the plan, and the way that you say that. We're out of here. Bye. See you next time.